Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to be resetting this breeder bin. So the last time we were with me in here, we added quite a lot of moisture to this. We mixed it up, we gave them a good feeding. I came back in between then and gave them another 2 feedings. And today is finally the day. It's been 21 days that they've been in here. I'm going to just remove this. You will notice that there's some crustiness on the top. I don't know why, but I wasn't able to get rid of this granulating, and some of the chow that I gave them yesterday is just pulled on top and a little bit crusty. But that's not an issue. That was, sorry, just a bit of cardboard in here. Done. Okay, so this is definitely too wet to sift, so that's not going to happen. So we're going to have to get these guys out another way. Which actually might be by hand, which won't be too difficult because there's literally only 100 in here. But there is a cocoon stuck to this little fellow. I'm not sure if you can see, hold on. Right here. Amazing. And that was the whole point of this, right? To be able to spot the cocoons. So I'm going to need a little tub to be able to put these guys into. There's only 100 of them, so I shouldn't need something too big, but let's just get this. I'm not going to make you watch me picking out 100 worms, so just check back with me in a minute. Just cocoons everywhere. Look, there's 1 there, 2, 3. I'm so happy with this. I'm just giving them a little wipe as well to make sure I take off all the dirt and remove any cocoons that might be stuck to them. Wonderful. And I think I've just come at the right time. Cocoons. Just push this forward a little bit for you guys to see better. My camera's quite high, and I just usually, after I make the videos, I see that I'm either out of frame or out of shot, or you know, only half is there. Now this is where it gets interesting, because I want to make sure that I don't transfer any cocoons over with these guys. Considering the scare that I had, you know, a week ago with regards to killing them because the environment, the habitat was too dry for them, I don't think these guys have done a bad job, and I think they would have done an even better job had I been on top of their bedding and their living environment and just their general health. No cocoons in there. A couple of escapees. Just more cocoons. Oops, just there. Boom. Just more. Love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, don't you try and get jumped in there. Let's just do a quick separation. Make sure that. Oh, I've got an escapee. Come on, fella. There we go. I'll have to do a quick check of that before I transfer it, just in case we've got any more prison escapes. Bollocks. There's a wisp in here. You see? Tiny worm. Not just one, more than one. Anyway, you guys are going across. That's fine. I was hoping to catch them before. I hope there's no more in there. But those guys look more than a couple of days old. But they're the only 2 that I saw. Oh, and one, maybe that's 1 day old. I don't know if I've left them too long. It was 20, actually yesterday was day 21. Exactly. And you're supposed to just leave these guys for 21 days. So this is a blue IKEA bag. It's a big daddy. It's probably around, in gallons, I would say this is probably about a 20-gallon bag, maybe more actually. No, let's just say 20 gallons, whatever it is. So my intentions are to dump the worms into, not the worms, sorry, the bedding, the cocoons, into this bag over the next few weeks and just let them grow into big size, and then I'll see, maybe set some more breeder bins and go from there. But this is my intention for now, as I want them to sort of just keep on populating, and I want to grab, grow more worms, because the bin outside is 55 gallons. It's quite huge. I am going to need some considerable worms for that. Anyway, so without further ado, let us do our thing. So these were our worms. There's 100 worms. I'm just going to put these to the side, and this is our bedding that we had. So I'm just going to put this in here. You can see some of those juveniles and the wisps that were born out of there. That's perplexed me a little bit. There's one in here as well. So I'm just going to give this a good clean and a good scrape, and make sure that I've got all of the cocoons and so on out of this bin. If there's any wisps in here, because they usually like to get into these little crevices here, into these little grooves. Yeah, as you can see right here. There are loads of wisps in here, by the way. I might have to change my tactic and only give them maybe 2.5 weeks. I know that cuts down their breeding time, but maybe these African night crawlers are not the same as the red wigglers. Maybe they produce faster, which wouldn't surprise me actually, because my other bin, the population just keeps on exploding, and I've taken a few hundred worms out of that. 100 worms here for the breeder bin, 50 worms for the worm farm starter kit, a couple of hundred worms I've given away to some people, plus I've sold a few 100, and I started with 300, and now I think I've still got like maybe, I must be at maybe still a couple of thousand worms, which is crazy. Obviously different stages of maturity, but still, nonetheless, not in in a considerably short space of time since December. It's 3 months. They're prolific breeders, these guys. Okay, so that's pretty clean. I will give this a quick rinse before I reset it, but I also want to add some carbon to this. This is just shredded cardboard, not much. It has been sitting outside, so I think I've got some leaves, a couple of bits of leaves in there. So I'm just going to do that. I'll give it a quick mix up. Bob's your uncle. I'm not really fussed that this is still empty. This is going to fill up pretty quickly. This is going to fill up pretty quickly, so I've just given them some nice cardboard. Mix it into their bedding for them. By the time all those cocoons hatch, the microbiology would have started breaking down this cardboard, so it'll be easily accessible for these baby worms to start feeding on. Just look, just a little cocoon. It has this little tail. Amazing. So just goes to show, I keep saying I'm blind as a bat, and I am, but at least I can see the cocoons now. Just one here. There's just loads everywhere. The other thing I'm going to do now is I'm just going to give these guys a little bit of worm chow. This is just going to break down. I'm going to mix it into the bedding. I'm going to give it quite a generous feed because I'm not going to touch these guys for a while. There's only maybe a handful of baby worms and wisps in there. The moisture level is great. So I'm just going to give it a quick mix. Made a little mound for them. I'm just going to compact it a little bit to try and keep that moisture in. Perfect. No one's going to be messing with that. I'm going to close it up and let's reset this breeder bin. Nice and clean. Breeder bin has been rinsed out. There is a little bit of water in there. That doesn't matter. First things first, let's put some bedding in here. I used one of these blue IKEA bags to make this bedding in. The moisture level is great. It's been sitting around for a few days. Not too much bedding. We seem to have done really well with the last one. The production was good, so it means that they're happy with that. Oh, a bit of leaf that just got in there. It's been sitting outside. That's great. What I'm going to do before I put these worms in is I'm going to actually feed it some chow, mix it in, and they've got food in there ready to go. They've got food in there ready to go. Even though there's coffee grounds in here and gypsum, and it's been sitting around, for a few days, plus the bag of the worm castings used for worm tea. This is just going to give them some extra nutrition because they are hungry. So I'm just giving that a good mix. The moisture level in here is really good. It's moist, like I can squeeze it. There'll be definitely water coming out of it, but it's not. I'm not sure if you can see this. There's a few drops coming out. As you guys know, I struggle with moisture evaporation in here, thanks to the AC and the humidity. I live in the Middle East. I'm in Dubai, so it's February 20-something, 23rd. 22nd, should I say, and the daytime temperature now is 30 degrees Celsius, 31, 32, so I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but mid to high 80s. Okay, so now that we've done that, these are our 100 worms from earlier. I hope I've got no cocoons in here or any more wisps, but there's only one way to find out. And in they go. I love watching them go down. Let's just zoom in here. It's like a worm patty, worm burger. I can already tell this bedding is much better. I don't think I'm going to have the same issues as I did last time with that granulation on top. It's just a finer mix. Cool. So these guys should go down quickly now that I've separated them out. Once I cover them up, they're gonna jump straight in. This is alien territory for them. Habitat, obviously completely fresh bedding, but they'll get used to it pretty quickly. They're quite good like that. And there we go. So today is the 22nd of February. We're gonna check back in. What's that? 6. On the 15th of March. So yes, 3 weeks from now, this should be teeming with more cocoons, and then we'll go from there. And hopefully, in that time, I'll receive my other bins, and I'll show you how I set up a new, larger breeder bin. But for that time, this is what we're doing. This is how we've got going on. I'm happy. These guys are happy. I hope you guys are happy. I'm going to ask you, as I always do, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Give me one massive thumbs up. Show some love to your boy. You know how to do. And I'll see you guys back here in a few days.